Hello everyone. So today I'm going to be talking about my advice for people going into year 7, as I'm going into year 9 next year and I've got kind of a lot of experience. And I want to try something new on my channel, so here we go. So firstly, SATs don't matter. In year 6 they stress you out and make a big deal about them and say,
"Oh, they're your most important exams."
But they're really not. All they are is to show the government how well the school is teaching their students. Sometimes your scores can matter as they sort you into sets for secondary school, but it really depends on your school. And anyway, if you get sorted into a bad set, you can always work harder and get moved up. Anyway, that was the case in my school because I got into set 3 for science and maths, and I moved up to set 1 in science, and then I went back to set 2 because I got a really bad score. And set 1's like the highest set, and I'm in set 1 for English, and I always have been because I read a lot, which is really good for your brain.
I don't know.
On the first day, don't worry about curling or straightening your hair, make it look all nice and pretty, because you're going to have to keep this up for like the whole year, because that's what I did when I was in year 3. I put my hair up in bunches and made it look really nice, and then I just couldn't be bothered because you really don't have that much time in the morning. And if you've been stressing and worrying, because last year I had really bad sleep problems, I just wouldn't go to sleep some nights, and my record was 3 o'clock, which I know a lot of people have beat, but I thought it was bad. First impressions matter on the first day, but don't come in looking like you're going to a party, because no one's going to take you seriously, and you're going to have to keep that up, and you won't have time. And school isn't a fashion show, so yeah, don't go getting really expensive manicures. If you want your nails nice, do them in some holidays like I'm doing, and just don't stress about school and looking really nice, because at the end of the day it's just school. No one really cares once you finish school. No one's gonna then they're not gonna talk about how you were in school unless you go to work with those people, which you might do but might not. Just be yourself, and everyone says be yourself, and you might not know what yourself is. So just think about, how do you act when you talk to your parents and your close family and friends, and you might feel really comfortable around them. Well, most people do. I do, and I know that that's the purest version of myself, and I try to act like that, but sometimes it can be hard. Don't put a filter on yourself. Don't try and be popular, because being popular just isn't really that great, and everyone's always looking at you. And in my school there isn't really any popular girls, but there's girls that think they're amazing. I mean, you've got to have self-love. Don't hate yourself, but don't be showing off to everyone else. Be confident in who you are, and beauty comes from within. So just try and make new friends. Find people who have common interests as you. Don't try and find boyfriends and girlfriends and go on dates in year 7. Give yourself time to adjust to a new environment. And also girls, I found that boys aren't very mature at this age, because girls can be more mature at a younger age than boys are. Boys, they usually take longer to mature into wanting to do that, and boys that do want to go on dates are usually not serious, or they're too serious about it. At this age, maybe try dating people in year 8 if you want to, but I didn't in year 8 because there wasn't really anyone, and all the boys were really gross. That doesn't mean that all the boys are gross, but in my school the boys are really gross. No offence if you go to my school, but you probably don't. So just leave that until you're older, because you just need to focus on your studies, because you don't go to school to find a boyfriend or a girlfriend. You go to school to learn. Next thing I would suggest is join clubs and go to after school clubs, but don't pile too much on yourself, because you can get really stressed, and you don't want to do that, because then you will just get stressed and cry all the time, because I used to get really stressed, especially with homework, but I'll talk about that later on in the video. Pick about 1 or 2 things that you want to try. So I would recommend going for a sport. If you're interested in sport, don't do all of the sports. try one sport, and then if you enjoyed that, then try other sports as well. But I wasn't really a sporty person, so I kind of do sport outside of school because I don't really like the opportunities that they do at sport at school, and my PE teacher hates me and gave me the lowest grade on my report. I got a 3.2, and for history I got a 3.7, so you can see the difference that my PE teacher hates me. Not bragging about that, but I will talk about grades in another video if you guys wanted to know about stuff like that. With a sport club, choose one sport and then choose like a lunch club or an after school club, something creative, so maybe an art club, or go to the art room at lunch. My school offers that, but yours might not. And this will give you an opportunity to make new friends and discover things that you didn't know about yourself. Try and be friends with lots of people, as girls blow hot and cold all of the time and it's so annoying. Try and be friends with boys and girls if you can, but if you don't feel comfortable around boys, then don't force yourself to be friends with them, because then they might think that you fancy them and you don't want that, because, as I said, don't focus on boyfriends and girlfriends at this age. So try and have a few close friends, and then be friends with lots of people from lots of different groups, so that when your other friends aren't being nice to you, then you have other friends to bounce back onto, and you have lots of friends and hang out with lots of different people, because you can find out lots of things about yourself that you didn't know and have fun. Try and do your homework the night you get it, and don't pile it on at the weekend. Wow, I'm really one to speak. I always do my homework at the weekend, but that's only because I am so tired and I have such a big headache when I come home. But next year I am going to try and do my homework the night I get it, or at least one of the pieces I get, and the really hard bits I will look at, know what I need to do, do some of it, and then save the rest to another day when I feel less tired. And try and get lots of sleep. And have at least 2 hours of relaxing after school each day, because or else you don't want to be working so hard, because then you won't be able to fall asleep. And don't like do your homework the night before and like do it really late, because then you won't get much sleep. If you do have to leave it to the last minute, do it the morning of, but don't do it when you get to school unless you have to print something out at school. Because if you leave it, then you won't be able to ask your teacher questions if you don't understand it. You will be really confused, and yeah, just be wise. Try and at least get 10 hours of sleep. So I recommend going to bed at 9:30 and read, because it's good for your brain, as I said. And then if you wake up at 6:30, then that's 10 hours of sleep, I think. Yeah, that's 10 hours of sleep, and that is good, because then you will be able to function for the day. Make sure you eat breakfast, because one of my friends doesn't eat breakfast, and then she feels really hungry and her stomach grumbles and she gets really embarrassed. So eat breakfast, it's good for you. And also a good breakfast option is fruit, because it doesn't take as long for your body to digest. It only takes about an hour, I think. And then if you do that, then you won't feel tired, because cereal and like porridge and that, it does keep you going, but it takes a long time to digest and make you feel tired earlier on in the day. And fruit's good because it like wakes you up, it's refreshing. Don't drink loads and loads of coffee. I like coffee and I drink it sometimes when I don't feel too good, and it makes me feel like set and ready for the day. And don't drink it without telling your parents, because some parents don't like you drinking coffee, but mine don't mind. So, yeah. So, that's all the advice I have for you today, guys. If you have any questions about Year 7, or you're worried and anxious about it, just leave some comments down below and I will come back to you guys, because I don't want you guys being stressed about Year 7. So I will answer them maybe in another video, or you can like DM me, and I will see you guys all later. Bye!